think that we have this fake belief that, okay, well, once I've done this, I'm good for the rest of my life, right? And I've mastered my mind. And I don't think there's a real thing about mastering your mind. And so there's always that self-talk and these beliefs. They're new beliefs. As you grow to a higher level, newer beliefs are coming up for you, right? And there's still those old ones that are like, what? No, you can't do this. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Don't achieve that. And so I think the biggest challenge is still myself, right? Overcoming my own self-talk, being able to override beliefs to move forward. And some days are easier than others. Some days suck. And I think anyone who thinks that everyone's life is perfect 24/7, it's not true. It's not real.
Yeah.
And so I think that we all need to recognize some days suck. And some days just getting out of bed is a win, right? Some days just moving, like getting out of your bed and moving to the kitchen or moving to the bath, like that's a win for some people. And for myself too, some days there's not these perfect days. And so the biggest thing for me still is that self-talk, those beliefs of, can you really do this? Whether it's in business, whether it's in my marriage, whether it's in my like different health goals or like race goals that I might have for myself, there's still that, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it almost brings you back to that younger version of yourself where you don't have that belief, right? And you go back to those feelings of, oh my gosh, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't. So being able to have the tools to come out of that. And some days I don't. Some days I can talk myself out of it or think myself out of it, affirm myself out of it. And other days I can't. And that's why I have a support system.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point, Jessica, that we, in our journeys, we're going to have days where we show up as our best self. And we're going to have days where we do not, right?
Yep.
And it's really having that support structure, whatever that looks like for you, that helps you remember who it is that you truly are, who it is that you're becoming. And so if we kind of fall down during the process, we don't stay down. We honor whatever that's about, right? We have that self-compassion, that self-love, and we remember that we're more than that.
And I think that's a really beautiful point too, Katherine, is honoring that. For me, for so long, anytime I wouldn't follow through, or if I had a bad day, I would beat myself up and be so mad. Well, you should have done this, or you didn't work hard enough. And now just honoring how you feel, honoring your emotions is such a powerful thing. I think we were taught, or I know I was at a young age, like just push it away and push it aside, right? Don't let that creep up. But the more you do that, the more it's going to explode later. And so now it's really, and this is something I've been dealing with over the last year, is really diving deeper within myself and being okay with the emotions that come up and being okay to express how I truly feel rather than just trying to hide everything. Because I've noticed the hiding for me for so long is what comes to bite me in the butt later on.
Been there, done that. And I think, it's a thing that we navigate, especially as we're in this growth journey. First of all, recognizing that it's a journey and it's a process, and really we're all going to the same destination. None of us is getting out alive.
Yeah.
And none of us can take, the kind of things with us. And so it's really about who we become in this journey of life, and recognizing that those kind of challenging days are there for us as well, and to honor the feelings. And I kind of think of it as a volcano where you stuff the feeling, you stuff it, and then pretty soon you're barely keeping it under wraps, right? And then the tiniest thing happens and you get this like massive explosion because it's actually all of the stuff that you've been stuffing.
Yeah.
And so being able to actually express it, feel it, honor it, and then you get this feeling of spaciousness within you.
Yeah. And don't be so judgmental on ourselves, right? We judge ourselves for feeling a certain way. Get curious. I always talk about, transforming your judgment for curiosity. And that's where journaling has really helped me. I just get really curious with, what's coming up for me? Why is this showing up? What happened in my day? Why did I make this choice instead of that choice? And just kind of getting curious with the decisions that I'm making instead of judging myself, because that judgment usually turns us into this downward spiral.
I love that. And the curiosity really is in alignment with a mindfulness perspective as well, right? Where we're kind of a bit detached and curious.
Yeah.
So do you have regular journaling prompts that you use, or do you just kind of free write?
Free write. I free write. So I always start with my gratitude, and then some things just come to me, even if it's like later in the day. A thought comes to me, or I do something that I'm angry about or upset with, and I just start like writing on it and journaling on it. Some days I don't write and journal on it for a few days. I need time to process it. It's the most random process for me, and I've been asked this a lot, especially from clients. Well, what do you journal about? And I'm like, well, if you read my journal, you'd probably think I was a crazy person. But but I don't really use the prompts, because I just kind of journal my experience, or journal what I'm going through, to try and work through it.
Yeah. So I'm hearing it's organic and intuitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. And so, any last thoughts for our listeners? Any words of wisdom? Anything that you, if you could speak heart to heart, that you would want people to know?
Yeah, I just want everyone to know that it's okay to struggle. Struggle's normal. Struggle is, and if you can almost embrace it, and I know when you're in the midst of a bad season or a bad struggle, it sucks, but to really be able to recognize there has to be something good that comes out of this, or, this is my growth opportunity. And instead of almost going backwards into old patterns and old habits, just do one thing, small thing for yourself every day. One thing you would love, whether that's just taking a bath, whether it's reading a book, but do something for yourself that you love, to just make yourself a priority, even if it's just for 10 minutes of that day. But know that the struggle is normal, and that you have the power to work through it, and the strength within you to really change your mindset, to change what you believe, so that you get to come out of that the other side.